Welcome back, Roy fans from around the world. I'm your host, the Oklahoma Wild Man, and today we're getting crazy. What's an Roy, you ask? Well, that's this truck we're building for my dad. What's an Oklahoma Wild Man, you ask? That's me, the Pike County legend. How are we getting crazy? Let me show you. Today, right now, we are gonna tear into our long bed and try to get it, we're going to get it cut down to a short bed to go on this Roy 6-inch lifted machine. I've got my 37s to get mounted this morning. The steelies are finally done. That's a whole nother thing. So this thing is gonna be looking awesome, like a really cool possum by the end of this video. I don't know what else we're gonna get into during this video. I just know we are gonna hit this bed like it owes us money. Let's get going. I've cut down one bed in my life, so you can trust anything I say. At this point, I'm practically an expert. In fact, I got so good at it that I actually offered cut down classes, and I only had one person sign up and show up. No, I will not be offering classes. No, I don't want anyone calling me Mr. Puddin'. That would just be weird. Now, step one is to get our bed up in the air where we can start removing some hardware. We're gonna blow this thing apart. When we get done taking it apart, we'll have a tailgate, we'll have the header panel, the two sides, and then the floor. I brought the bed in yesterday at the end of what I was doing yesterday. And this year was a little easier getting the bed in here. Yeah, this bed we brought in was a little easier than the one we brought in last year. All right, get our legs all underneath there, set her down, and she's ready to go up. Yeah, get our straps out. And y'all can be mad at me for cutting her down, but I told you on this one, you gotta blame my dad, okay? I gave him the choice. He chose short bed. I think the four-wheel drive, this one would look good long bed. But it's gonna look really good a short bed too. Y'all can tell ain't nobody arguing with my big old dad, not me. Y'all can go take that butt whooping if you want. I'm gonna leave the guy alone and just say, yes, sir. You said you want a short bed? Sounds good to me. But they're in the air. We can go down through here and you can see all these bolts. And you can't see all those bolts because there's a lot of mud. We can take care of that. Let's try and get the head of those where we can get something on there easier. This one, no. It's got a little hucky puck in there or something. We're gonna have to go for a little archaeological dig. All right, that's the thing. There we go. Got a little chunk. Golly. What is that? Only GM's finest undercoating? Man, that's probably some, who knows what it is. There we go. That was a good chunk. Chunky boy. Right now, power tool's your friend. Don't get me wrong, you could do this all by hand. You just ain't gonna have a shoulder left on you. Might as well take your shoulder and give it to damn Goodwill or something, because it's gonna be gone. File a missing persons report for your shoulder. Wanted. Last seen underneath the C10 long bed, removing bolts. Has anyone seen my damn shoulder? Why does that one got a small washer, but y'all see the size of that one? That one had the big washer, then that had the small, then that had the big. Looks like they went down through here and staggered them. That's a staggering find. Bolts everywhere. Bolts. Hey-yo. Thing's doing the whirly twirly. Gonna be me having a nightmare tonight. Bolts! Bolts everywhere trying to get me. Save me. Hey, dog, don't look at me like that. I'm not crazy. You're out there licking your butt. Licking your butt, looking at me like I'm crazy. You're crazy. Y'all see how I do that? This thing's got enough oomph in it where if you get it spinning and shove it on there and it catches, it'll usually take them out. 31, 32, 33. 33 bolts I just counted, and that's starting from that front corner and just going, woo, taking that plate, our one support, don't forget it, was down here. Well, if you had that bolt part of that, that's 34 actually. And then all down, took these out, I don't know if we have to, but we are. And then those ones up in there. And who knows, we may have missed one or two. This side will be an exact repeat, nothing to see there. And then down the front, we've got our header panel up here, and you can see those. And oh yeah, that didn't actually account for the ones that go up the front as well. You'll see that? That's gonna be a common problem. The dirt and the grime gets the bolt stuck in your socket. You may have to take it and give her a little power slam. A lot of times that'll knock it out. Woo, got a fresh battery. Woo, better watch out. I mean, it's my fresh broken duct tape battery that's definitely in there. That does not look good. Woo, when it does work, you better watch out. We're pulling at the speed of lightning now, baby. The speed of slow motion lightning. Hey Theo, what do you mean what am I doing? I'm working hard, dude. Old supervisor damn near caught me sleeping on the job. Y'all holler at me. A little heads up would have been nice. 34, 34, 68, 70, 75, 76, 77. Hey, my lucky number. I knew it was gonna be that. I predicted it years ago and tattooed it on my hand. Add another 10 for all those. And I guarantee you, you can at least remove 87 bolts from one of these beds, and we may have missed some, who knows. Look right there. I'd be damned if I didn't call it. 88. There's a lot of dirt caked on the bottom of this. But like our cab, guys, no rot, no rust. This was a solid truck, good truck. And all of those came out, none of them stripped. I'd say the most difficult one was we had a through bolt on the first side we did. And it was the one that gave us the most fight, and that's about it. Guys, just destroying long beds. It's beautiful. Just playing. I took a drink of water and I've been choking on it for the last 3 minutes. Nothing like trying to hydrate and damn near dying. Woo! That tray come apart. Maybe we should have left one in there. I did on this side, then I got too confident over on this side. You see, we wanted to stay somewhat together because in the back, there's actually a couple welds we gotta cut before the back will come apart completely. Put one back in for a little stability. Oh, I forgot another bolt, and I meant to show y'all this. It just popped in my head. This one's half backed out. And on this side, it was not the only one that was half backed out. Just makes me curious if this bed's been apart before. Also, that makes it number 89. This thing has been repainted, so, I mean, you can tell in there some stuff was going on. You can see the paint running. The white, they did not do a very good job on the white. And in some areas, you can see that the green, see, there's their respray over the factory green. The colors are actually just slightly different there. Right now I'm gonna run the option on the play. Our option is to leave the taillights in or pull them out. One, I can't remember if we're supposed to do something behind there. But two, even if we're not, When everything's just up in the air, it's a lot easier to mess with that stuff. Gotta love when someone does a repaint and does such a good job that they just spray the whole taillight bezel holder bracket thingy majigger. Just taping that off would have took way too much time. I remembered there's a reason I wanted to get in here. See that little clip? Pull up on that. That holds your wiring harness in there. Now that other side didn't have a ground, this side does. Put that bolt right back in where we don't lose it. And then you want to unhook that and pull all that down through there. Big old hole in the bottom. You do the loop, swoop, and pull. Real tricky. Them big sockets out. And when you get that doing the dangle there, you're good. You don't want to be trying to drop bed sides and then have the wiring bind us up and then be trying to pull that through there. That would have been a pain. These, I ain't decided if we're going to reuse them. They do look like they'd clean up awful easy. The lenses need replaced 100%. When we had the lights working on this thing, it looked like ember lights back there because the lenses were so faded. Everything was orange. These we can probably hit it with some compressed air and stuff and get them cleaned up. Well, what the heck? Now that's a silver color that's underneath there. We'll worry about these later. Like I say that and then continue to clean them. That one's broken. Trash! This one's just falling apart in my hand. But I am going to save that trim ring. Now we only had one of them, but we'll save that. We'll save all of our hardware in a minute. When I finish getting this all the way apart, we are going to do a bag and tag. Flip those up. That way we can unhook that. And I thought the tailgates had a area where when you hit a sweet spot, it just pulled it off there. Maybe not these. All those being different bolts indicates that's been off. Small indication. Well, I still don't know how this is supposed to come out of there. All right, success. Great success. You damn near got to full disassemble this bed. Just get your tailgate off. No big deal. I planned on pulling all that off there anyhow because I didn't want it clacking around. Putting us a P on here for passenger. Marked up the driver side stuff. That way we can just easily put everything right back to the side it came off of. No guessing. Keep it easy peasy. Bolt broke, that's one way to do it. Our brackets here used to hold a camper in this sucker. Hornet started building this on there, Wasp, I mean. So it used to be a camping, hauling machine. So back here we had a couple welds. If we move that and we move that, you can see that kind of booger of a weld there. There'll be nothing underneath that. That's just in the way. And then weld right there, weld right there, weld right there. Cut them. Up here just kind of come in at an angle where you can get through the center of the weld. And down there, they're a little tricky to get to, especially if you got a guard. You can tell I had to flip that where I could actually get back in there. This one had a weld right there and then just immediately, boom. Well, I guess maybe because of that hole, or maybe that hole ain't supposed to be there. Who knows? Did y'all see this side move? So this side, something still got us somewhere. pop underneath there and make sure I didn't forget a bolt or something. I think there's somehow maybe a little weld still attached down in there. Well, it's moving though. There it went. Yeah, it was that weld. I seen there's a little piece of sheet metal back in there and I could tell it was still touching it. So I kind of had to butcher on that more than I wanted to, but we'll get it cleaned up and we'll weld it back up and she'll be just fine. That's coming apart now. That's what we wanted to see. Just from tapping on that side, this side's just falling apart at this point. Get the big boys up front, get the medium boys out back. We get the weight on our floor because we're picked up on our bedsides right now, so you don't want to try to pull it bedside when the weight's on it, obviously. I'm also not going to drop those all the way down where in case that starts to fall and I go to lose it or something, it don't have to slam too far to the ground. It'd be nice to have an extra set of hands for handling these, but it is what it is. All right, folks, here we go. Oh, well, I got a hammer like that was necessary. All right, we're free. This one's free. Yep. Looks like it would have been smart to leave a couple bolts in the header panel. Also, that does not look good. I don't know if y'all can see or not, but our floor on this one just basically tried to collapse on us. Gosh dang it, Puddin', you cranked it. Go ahead and mark these before I forget. Make sure your D just looks like a P, so it's really confusing. Going smooth, don't worry about me. C-spray. Yeah! We'll move some of our support more towards the center here. I sure don't recall the last floor buckling and being that flimsy. All right, there's a smaller brace there, a big brace up there. All right, I think we're gonna be good, guys. We ain't got a choice. I promise you it's going back in that truck. Just don't remember it being like a dang diving board. I'm ready to hit a front flip off this sucker. Halt! If you do these next steps, it's gonna help you, I promise you. 1, clean up what you just used. I had all that different tools and stuff out that we're not gonna need because we're to the point of doing a lot of measuring, a lot of marking, a lot of cutting, a lot of welding, a lot of grinding. You don't need 1/2-inch wrench, locking pliers, impacts, any of that stuff, and it just creates a big old mess. So other than some stuff we're actually gonna use now, I put that stuff up. The next thing you wanna do is, like I said, the bag and tag. This piece, I put us a driver. We'll just keep that stuff together. Passengers. This is for the header, for up front, and then we got our tailgate stuff. I used to be the world's worst, guys, about just leaving the tools on the table. I would have left all that hardware there, and I'm just so focused on work that I would just eventually throw stuff on there and makes a mess. Sure, it takes 3-4 minutes to do a quick bag and tag. Sure, it takes 3-4 minutes to throw your tools up, but that 8 minutes right there is gonna save you 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the long run when you don't have to play grab butt with all this hardware. For now, I just got this tote I'm gonna leave sitting right here. We'll sit that in there out of the way. And now me and that bed floor is ready to play. Simply done. I just got the cheapest ones from the local grocery. Telling you, bag and tag, you'll appreciate it once you start doing it. He's ready for a little layout action. Step 1, remove the cedar trees. I just wiped my hand cleaner wipe, but guys, we're gonna be using our marker, and you don't want to gum that up with all that dirt. You can clean your area. Your marker will thank you. You'll thank yourself when you're not gummed up your marker too. All right, I'm gonna cut this one down the exact same way I cut the last one down because it worked. That's my reasoning. So we want to come somewhere in this general area, and we need to slice straight back. So I'm going to come from this edge over here. So I'm going to come from that edge over there, and we're going to do 4 3/8 just because I like it. Line your edges and mark her out. Now we need to come back for our first cut, 4 3/4. 4 3/4. My speed square don't quite want to catch that lip good, so what we can then do is measure off this back lip and see that's 19 1/8, and then I can come measure over here to the 19 1/8, and that should have us pretty square. Just playing, that must angle because I can tell by eye that's crooked. Forget everything I've ever taught you. The speed square works because we can line up with that mark. So I put a few marks down through there, and then we'll just lay us a piece of tape. Much easier to see. We can kind of just connect those dots. Now we want to cut this edge, so we're going to mark that so we don't forget. Same thing over here. That line, we can see it, but with that blue tape, we can see it a lot easier. Now a lot of people say you cut 6 inches off the back. We're actually going to do 5 3/4. Why is that? I just told you it's how we did it last time and it worked. And last time I watched some videos from a gentleman in Oklahoma. He was wearing bibs. I knew he was a bad SOB, just how he dressed and talked. I was like, yeah, this dude definitely knows what he's talking about. So I did what he did and it worked. So now we're gonna do what we did and it's gonna work. I cut 5 3/4 here, but when I do the chassis, I like to tell you we need to do 6 inches off the back, but I used the speed square and I marked it at the end down here and I cut off 7 inches. So now we're only gonna have 1 1/4 inch difference. Don't worry about that, guys. It's gonna be fine, guaranteed. What I'm saying is measurements aren't important, are they? Nah. All right, so we'll go from that edge and we're gonna go back 5 3/4. Same thing. 5 3/4. Guys, y'all can do this. I promise you, you can do this at home yourself. Don't give me the wheel. Easy to say when you got a lift and a skid steer. I done showed you how to move it without a skid steer. And we could do this just with jack stands. I'm just blessed by y'all by being here supporting that we've been able to get a lift to do this stuff faster than what we used to be able to do it in the old shop. But I promise you, do not let this scare you. Just hop in there and do it. You can do it. Same thing, we want to mark our edges. And then right here, I'm going to draw us a line and put stop. Because I don't want to keep carrying across here past that. Which I may do, because I'm the wild man who makes a lot of mistakes. So what we're doing here is we're leaving this cross member attached to this corner. Then we're going to slice this chunk out. Then we'll go through and take out these spot welds. This whole cross member is going to drop. We're then going to take the whole thing back and put it into place. This edge will get cut. It'll get hammered over, and it kind of gives a little factory-ish appearance, and you don't end up with a big old scar down the middle. Now, as you can see, this side's already laid out, kind of marked on this one to show you the chunk we're actually removing. We'll cut this all the way through. This chunk's going to fall. Right here, we're going to cut through, but on that cross member, we're just going to cut enough to cut the sheet metal. We're not trying to lop that cross member in half. Here we go. Woo, now you can see why it's nice to put you a black mark there and put stop, huh? I promise you, you'll get cooking and go right past that. With that complete, you can peel your arts and craft project here. On this side, there's a little bit of rot there, as you can see. So I actually favored our little pocket here, or our raised part, I mean, a little closer so we can eliminate some of that rot. There's still a little there, but hopefully we can grind that out and weld it up. Now, you see how this has a taper down right there and everything? That's why we go back past that. So then when that butts up back here, we still get that nice taper right there. Now we have the not so fun job, and that is to go down through here and find spot welds. And there's gonna be a couple, like there's one right there, you can probably already see. And we're gonna have to drill that out, and there'll be 1 or 2 in each little lowered area here. It's a fun job. It's my favorite. I've been looking forward to this all week. Yep. Get this little air hooked up, and we're gonna use our roll lock to help us find these. Maybe we're not, because I ain't found one yet. I'm for sure finding some up in there. I don't know about the ones towards the back. I don't see one right in here neither. There's definitely one right there. Right there. Some of them we can see just because how they corroded over the years. When we do that, we leave a little down in there, but I can't actually see a spot weld like these other ones. Well, I don't know. I feel like I can see one right there. It's gonna get interesting. Whew. I don't know, guys. Some of these down there I can't see nothing. So I went down through there and I put us a black mark where each one is, where we can see a little easier. Drill some pilot holes. Those welds are hard. I keep smoking drill bits. Get us a little cutting fluid. Maybe that'll help. We're gonna smoke our stepper too. Guys, I opened up a new set of my $8 Harbor Freight steppers, and it's taking all of them. I'm just smoking through them. The tip of that one melted off, and that's the last pilot hole I got there. But all that metal's melted down in there, and that's making it extremely hard to drill. That just ain't gonna work. Bet your carbide don't give a dang. You'll see that? Your carbide's a drill bit if you're desperate. So obviously, this ain't gonna just fall off here because I don't think we have all the spot welds. I don't know where they're at. The ones that are there are fighting me. I think we're gonna have to start prying on this. Now we don't want to tear up the cross member, it's pretty strong. But the floor is what we definitely don't want to tear up. So I think we're gonna go ahead and cut this. That way we can take this piece to the bench and get the rest of this old floor off here. To make our line to cut, we went 4 3/4 here. So this, we're gonna go 5 1/4. I'm confused, that has nothing to do with nothing. We went 5 3/4, so to cut this, we're gonna go 5 1/4, leaving an extra 1/2 inch, and that 1/2 inch is so we can hammer it over and roll this edge here. That's what I meant to say. So I'm gonna mark down each one of these ribs and give us a mark right at 5 1/4. Yeah. Pull a couple clips and we can pull that wiring harness out of there. And now the battle begins. You can see it's starting to separate. That one I just broke through what was left of a spot weld. That's free. This one's not. You want to use your straightest chisel. Got lucky I didn't just cut myself on that gauge. Old Big in here, she's doing a good job. Hey-o, looky there. So apparently where I thought some may have been missing, they really were. As y'all can see, this is working beautifully, and obviously way easier than working it over there and beating on that bed, bending everything up. Knock down our high spots, clean up some of that rust. A lot of dirt packed on there, knock that off. I will shoot a little primer on top of this because we're about to sandwich it back. But as far as like trying to clean up the whole piece and everything, guys, we're just not doing it. That's a lot of work, so we may need to just shut off. A little crusty right there, so we'll coat it on thick. Worry about my overspray. A little lacquer thinner, go down through here and scrub that right off. Shiny like a hiney. All right, I got us into place here, guys. Just carried it back over here. I'll put you 2x4 to go across that brace. C-clamp, boom, clamp her down. Clamp her down. This side is just absolutely beautiful. And this side's really close. All this is really beautiful. But then up in here, that's a little flimsy. So we're gonna have to do a little matching up like that. But we'll go ahead and get us a few tacks up in all that. Tack her up. Now, I'm not one for commitment issues, so I welded that sucker in. She's locked in. We had that little bit of rot right there, a little right there. Welded it up. Put us a few clamps down through there. This side, same thing. She's full burned in. Little flap attack for some fast knockdown, and then bring her home with the roll lock. And that looks pretty dang good. Now we are gonna have to weld back on here, but we'll just go ahead and prime it all, because why not? Some of this slides underneath our bedside, so that bare metal, we definitely want something on there. Pick this baby up in the air, take our carbide, and where those holes were, we want to get the rust and dirt and everything where we can get some spot welds now. So as we go down through there, I'll move my boards along, making sure that's always touching. Then we'll spot weld it. We had drilled big old holes, so we had big holes to fill up. Hopefully y'all can see that. I just went around the edges of the big hole and just put a bunch of tacks and then slap one right in the center. It's way more weld than it had from the factory. With our drop down, we do reveal where our spot welds were. In time, those will kind of disappear. Now y'all can see what we're doing. Don't try to be cute. Use your little body hammer, and I'm gonna tink, tink, tink. You better get the biggest hammer you got and just start swinging. It takes some hitting to smack this down. I made sure to support us where she's nice and stable. Woo! If you took them 100 bolts out earlier by hand, your shoulder's really gonna be loving you after this. So when you drop the tailgate, that rolls over. Honestly, 1/2 inch is probably too much. 3/8 would probably do. No, I'm not gonna lie to you and act like up close that looks perfect. However, that'll rarely be seen. What's nice is when the tailgate's up, if anyone looks in the bed, you see that rounded edge from this. See how that creates that nice crisp line down through there? Ooh, crispy. This patina, well, this ain't really happy ending. Patina cleaner, slinger in the West. That Puddin was slinging what? Hey Miles, Puddin's playing with his patina. All right, I'm gonna hush up before I get us in trouble. Patina cleaning sauce. Now we don't have no fancy way of removing cross members and this and that. On this, we're just gonna simply mark forward, or from the forward edge out 5 3/4, and we mark it all the way down through there. If you're gonna do one, you better go get you some masking tape. Makes this job so much easier. You may have noticed, unlike the rear, as I cut through this one did not drop. It's because I used my brain. Last time I did one of these, I taught myself this trick and I just forgot to use it. I didn't quite cut through all that right there or right here because I don't have an extra set of hands. Now I gouged it some, so we can do that right there. Check that out. Sometimes when you're working by yourself, you gotta get a little creative. Oh yes, here's another trick I remember doing. So instead of doing 14 inches, let's see, we did 14 over there. I was thinking about doing 13 3/4, so the bed ends up a little longer. I know I did the frame 14, but I think we could wall or holes if necessary. It may not even be necessary. I was just thinking if the front of this bed was just a hair longer, it's gonna help close up the bed gap, just that little hair, and it may look better. So I think we're gonna try it. I'll be the guinea pig. We may end up regretting this. In fact, yeah, I should have shortened the frame more. I should have done it 14 1/4, where it brought the whole back just a hair closer. But so I marked out to right there 13 3/4. Now I'm gonna take my ruler and just mark that with a fresh piece there. And now I can butt up down here and right where that edge is, put us a mark. That'll make going down through here a lot faster than pulling a tape on every single one, pulling tape measure. Well, the battery died, and of course I didn't hear it from the grinder and muss, but finished cutting that through and pull her off. Like I said, I'm doing 13 3/4 experimental. If you don't want to be experimental, just do your 14. Alright, you can see I just did a fine little clean up there. And some folks just love these clamps, these little sheet metal clamps. They just think they're the damn cat's meow. I'm actually not a big fan. You gotta be careful. These things will get you in trouble. People just assume they're gonna butt stuff up perfect, and they don't. But I can use those to kind of get us held into place. And our ends here, we're gonna have to open up, because as you all can see, we've got a pretty big gap down through some of this. You know, I must have just got buck nasty with it, because we're dang near touching right there. It ain't bad, just a little thick right there and right towards the end, but not a lot. I got me a plane here. We're matching up really good right here on the ends. So give us a tack. We'll get us a clamp here. Here. Tack. That's just to be our pivot point. Because check this out. See how that's rocking and a flopping? Well, we don't want that, do we? So I moved our jack stands. We'll lower the lift down and put some support over there. We should be able to level it up. May not have enough leverage. Close. Woo! That right there's pretty stinking good. That's good. Oh yeah, that's more what we're after right there. All the way down into here, looking nice. So now if we tack that, that's gonna lock that in. And this one we're gonna have to pick up on just a hair, it looks like. Let's get this in locked in. Pick up on this in just a hair. Oh yeah, baby. Now we get to go down through there, and it takes a minute, but we got to match all this up. And don't have to take a minute. You can do it as fast as you want. So I can drag that flat head across there and not really catch a tip. That's what we're after. But like right there we can. Pry down a little bit. And unfortunately, I gotta do that all the way down through there. Now it is in the bed of a truck that's gonna be about 9 foot up in the air, so no one's ever gonna see it. So we ain't gonna get too carried away, but we are gonna make it match as best as possible, as quick as possible. Well, I'll tell y'all what, she sure is matching up good down through there. One small adjustment like that, once it holds, it's doing really good. This all matched beautiful, guys. This last little piece right here is the only one that the ribs is really a little off on. Ooh, there she is. She's tacked all the way down through. 19 1/4. 19 and a quarter. I know you like that. Tack, tack, tack a million times. You have this baby welded out. It's a lot of welding, but you gotta do it. I've seen trucks out in public for sale. Other ones, it's been cut down, and then you see inside the bed and they just welded like, I don't know, an inch every foot or so, and like they just didn't finish it. And I get it if it's your driver and you do it in a weekend and you weld out the like outside 6 inches and a little bit enough to hold it. But at some point the next weekend, you better crawl your butt back up in your driver and finish welding that sucker out. Woo! Get us a nice new flap attack to knock these welds down. Sweat in the eye make you come alive. I had a little eye boogie going. I mean, I'd say that's cleaned up pretty dang good if I do say so myself. All the way down through there, guys. No areas where I just had to grind at or anything that really fought me. That matched up great. Well, as you can see, we're just jumping straight into tearing up our bed sides. Yeah, so back here, we'll have some spot welds to find. Pop those loose. I think y'all figured out by now, all we're doing is a lot of measuring, marking, then laying out tape. For this, we're going off that back edge and over 5 3/4. When we end up cutting this through, this lip over here is then gonna overhang that, and we'll just put new spot welds in there. And then we don't have a bed scar running through this whole thing. So I'm gonna just cut this up to in here, and then we'll flip it. Put my arrows on, because I just about picked up that grinder and went to that inside edge. Not that we could cut it again, but still. Them sparks flying and getting that armpit sure feels dandy. We need to pull our trim. She's got some Phillips. Pull our trim. She had a little sticky piece. Got a nut stud thingy my bobber up there. I really wish we could find good trim. I haven't tried to source any. I just doubt anyone repops it. Well, as y'all seen, I don't know if it was the heat, but that just took that GoPro out. I'm down to my last GoPro 8. We're gonna go as close to this sucker as we can get. So off that edge right there, I'm just going forward 1/4 inch. I see people cut them way out in here, and guys, when you get out there where stuff can flop and cave in, and you start welding, it's gonna cave in. And then when you put your straight edge on there and your panels are sucked all in, do it close to here. This edge, this being broke and all the strength in this being towards the back, it's gonna help hold your bedside straight and true. So put our couple marks, then we'll use our ruler here, and I'm just gonna give us a bunch of little lines where we can kind of eyeball it, because we're obviously gonna use our tape like we've been using everywhere else. Close enough. Give her a little eagle eye here. And she looks pretty good. Now also, this tape itself should help keep consistent. And don't be scared to do your tape in 2 pieces. Just overlap your edge nice and it'll work. Mama's home. Behind the scenes, she went and picked up the wheels for old Roy. I loaded her up with the 37s and she went and dropped them off, and then she just went and picked them up for me. So at the end of the last video of old Roy, obviously I showed them on there, but in real time, we're this far in before I'm even gonna get to see them. Measure forward, 5 3/4. That's how much we did the bed floor. It's how much we did the inside. That's our number to take out. Beautiful. Let's give her a slicing. Moved her sheet metal breaker. I could slide that down. Can't quite remember. Oh, I remember. I think we gotta come in here. So there's a little piece of that internal little gusset, whatever, sheet metal had us, and then the 2 spot welds I drilled up there, I just had a little bit. I forgot I had not fully popped them up out of there. And so I just made that harder than it had to be, but it's okay. We got her. And as you can fully say, I have complete control of this situation. I guarantee you the long bed lovers are livid in the comments, leaving long. I was trying to think of another L word that meant like hateful, but I couldn't think of nothing. Leaving ugly comments. I'll said I'd watch you cut down 1, but I'll be damned if I watch you cut down 2. Here's number 2, long beds. Here's the reality of the situation. You shouldn't care what people do with their projects, guys. Like, well, I'd give anything to have that. Well, then go get one. The long beds, y'all seen I've bought them up. And this one, this good of a rust-free truck, big block, 73 in the shape it was in with title, was like $2,500. Now, I understand $2,500 ain't a $400 project, but the reality of 2025 is $400 projects hardly exist anymore. And I thought this guy had this truck priced more than fair, and he said that I was the only one who showed up, looked at it, and was even willing to pay close to what he's asking for it. Everyone showed up and went, shit, that's a $1,200 truck. I wouldn't give you no more than that. Well, that's fine, because you can probably go buy you a $1,200 long bed. It's gonna have beat-in panels, and it's gonna have rot in the floor, and then you're gonna spend another $1,300 getting it to half the condition that this truck was. So, I get to cut it up because I was the only one who thought it was a fair deal, where everyone else was lowballing the guy. Why? Hell, that's just an old long bed. Those things are everywhere. Yeah, fair enough, guys. I'll be the one who buys them up and turns them into way more valuable short beds. Well, like I said, I was gonna leave this one a long bed. Dad wanted a short bed, and I don't mind. It's not like he had to twist my arm to make me do it. I just know there's people fired up right now, and you shouldn't be. Calm down. Just crazy to me. You're right, we do not want to get carried away on the paint here. We're taking off just what we have to. Found some body filler right away. See? This pristine truck. Having a lot of body filler right there is definitely going to make matching that a little more challenging. Threw 2 of our clamps on here. Now, I said earlier, you got to be careful of these. That's because people just assume you tighten those down and everything's going to match good. You start welding and then you'll realize it's not. But what I want to do is check right up in here, this body line. Right there, we're ready for attack. On the other side of that, if we hug real close, is ready. We kind of need to be able to pick up on that too and get us a tack down here to kind of start to support that. So just like our bed floor, we're going to take our time and work this into place. Obviously, this is even a little bit more important than a bed floor. I'll go plug this welder in, it'll probably help it. tack down through there, get all that matching. I want to do that, and then from obviously these points we can work our way down and work our way down. If you start tacking here and then over here and you got too much material pushed up here, well then you ain't got no way to lay that down. And same down here, if we were to squeeze that and just tack it right now, with that being higher. So I like to work kind of from the middle out. Well, that's matching up really good. Now down here we've got some rubbing, and I think this happened to me last time too, where I had to go run the cutoff wheel through there and create a little bit of a gap. That gives us enough to be able to just kind of work it. I had our clamp up here, that allowed me to get all that, and then I move it down. Now we'll have to work that just a little bit, and that clamp's good to kind of get us ballpark, but like I said, just always check it. And then down here it gets a little funky, obviously because that's a taper, so we just kind of got to make it work. I ran our clamp as far down as we could go, and that's all we're going to get out of it. So now we'll do a little plier bend, and that's matching up really good. We'll have to weld it there and then pull it back out. I don't remember the last one ending this good. I remember having to cut off a piece, but that right there ends beautifully. So obviously once that's full welded, a little grind right there and that'll just flow. Yes, sir. So we are matched up all the way through down there. All the way through down. I don't think that made sense. Yeah, it's 90 degrees in here. It's getting a little warm. My head's a little hurting. Good morning. Got out here. I've been tacking away. Kind of general rule, I've been doing no more than 3 tacks before cooling it. You do not want to get this hot and warp, so I'd maybe go tack. Maybe hop down this way, tack, where it's spread out, and then take our air, cool it off. You can see I left us a few to show, a little gappage there. This is where you take your time. If you want to get buck nasty on the bed floor and warp that, by all means. This is where you need to take your time. Tack. There's a little area there. I could have welded it up. I had to use restraint and not do it. All I needed was one more tack. But if you start getting carried away, oh, I'll just tack it here, extra here. Before you know it, you'll have a bunch of heat in this sucker. Knocking down these welds, you gotta practice the patience, just like tacking. Keep this sucker flat. No leaning, no gouging, just flat. That keeps us having weight on this side of the panel, that side of the panel. Everything grinds down at the same time and you end up nice and flush. Smooth that baby out with the DA, and that right there is nice. My DA is a piece of crap. It's so hot and humid today, guys. You see that? My right eye only, right lens only keeps fogging up in there. Makes it where I can't see. Worse than I already can't see. No sucking in, no dipping panel. That right there is beautiful. I need a better DA. With a better DA and some 80 grit, we can take out some of those scratches. And I know that's not the skinniest pattern. Well, so-and-so uses a little sander, and then he goes in there and he sands it. And where he did, it's only a 1/2 inch wide. Yeah, I know. Look at those real close. Just tell me if you can see gouged sheet metal or not. And if you answer no, then look closer. All this turned out really good. And then down here, well, that bottom piece is really good. It's right in there that I can feel stuff's a little high right there. But that's where we go out to normal metal, no body filler. But I can see our metal matches good. The problem is this metal over here was bent or something, which is why it already had body filler there. So we'll probably have to do a little swipe of mud, I'm guessing between right here to here. That little area, we may have to do a little bit of body filler there. But overall, that's a nice cut down right there, baby. I did make one mistake. Not really a big deal. Just before we put that back on, this lip right here, we should have drilled us just a few spot holes down through there for spot welds. That edge looks crooked to that. I know what you're thinking. Oh crap, what'd you do wrong? Actually, that makes me happy to see because the factory one was. So that means everything shifted over really, really good because it looks just how it did when we took it apart. Easy enough, just drill us some new holes and weld it up. One up front, there's a little gap, so we're gonna push down. Should be nice and strong. Where's that going? Nowhere. Just like they did it from the factory. Now up here's the last thing we got to finish up. I can already see I'm gonna have to take my grinder and just trim a little off of this where we can hammer that down, get that matching up. Gotta hammer it down just a hair more. I can see we're high out there. Y'all see that peak? If we hammer that down, the rest of that falls down, she'll be ready to weld. Y'all see me move a minute ago? Because one of them hot things went down through my shoe. Right to my holy sock. That welded up nice. And then when I was cutting through trying to get this piece to drop off, I guess my cutoff weld come through and sliced right there, so we'll just smooth that up too. Smooth that baby out. Now we ain't got a slice there. That looks good. Feels good. Holy cow. You don't mean to toot my own horn or nothing, but all that matched better than I thought it was going to. Pause for a Theo cuddle break. Oh, who loves a good face rub? Theo does. Good boy. Him's a good boy. You lean on me and I'll lean on you, Gub. Someone got scared of the storms that rolled in. We did finish up the rear of the one, so I just knocked out the rear of the other when everything was fresh in my brain. This one not having any body filler turned out even better than the first one. It's weird how you can see the line in there though, and that's just because that material is a little different, the filler wire. Don't let that fool you. That baby is money. Oh, yeah she is. So once I got this done, we were gonna struggle through the front together, but a storm rolled in that was raining so hard, I couldn't even hear like my phone if it was right in front of my face in here. It was just so loud. Realized there's some leak up there that rolls down there and then was coming, ugh, don't look in there. And since it was too loud to record, I just hopped to the front and I just got this one done. Turned out beautiful. And luckily for y'all, there's a whole nother one to do and we can actually hear now. Now, the first time we ever did one of these, we removed our stake pocket. We cut like along there, then over here, and then this and that and this and that. I decided I didn't want to do that. I didn't like removing the stake pocket. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So I did some measuring, and basically I figured out that as long as we come over this way around 6 inches and do our line, and then go our 13 3/4 and do a line, we can just cut that section out, and we'll do a little stepping around up there. A little step from the bottom, mark over 6 inches. Mark. There's 2 car shows going on today within 10 minutes of here, guys. One to the east and then one to the north. One was in the morning. One's one that's kind of cool because they do it in the evening till into the dark. I had a buddy, hey, you gonna go to the car shows? And here's the reality of working for yourself with the upcoming week, everything I've had going on with family, to keep workflow going. I just gotta work all day Saturday. because no one else will do it for me. And we can't put it off or we'll miss our output schedule. I still got to master Monday's video, and then I still got, I got to edit the following week's video. We got a lot to do, and it leaves pretty much no time for car shows. So even after we go in today, we'll be on the laptop working. Now instead of measuring, we used our piece of tape to mark out our floor. So we'll use this for over here, so we take out the exact amount. Don't get me wrong, guys, that was not me complaining. I love it. I'm very blessed to be able to do this, do what I love. Some people need to know if you're wanting to do it. It's a lot of work, guys. Timber, watch out. It's a lot of work. All the YouTubers I know, Mortski, Sleeper Dude, Pole Barn, always doing something. There's always something to do. These are speed square to help us make the corners. I'm gonna lay it all out before we start cutting. Kind of hopping around here, so just stick with me. Next, we're gonna use our speed square and mark a 1/4 inch back from the front lip. I see a lot of people cut it way back in here, like basically how we marked on the back side. They would just cut that all the way through. I'm not saying you can't, but kind of like how we get real close to where the taillight area is on the back, and that helps hold everything because there's strength there. The front of this panel is super strong. In fact, it has so many broke edges and bead rolls and overlap sheet metal, I'd say it's super duper strong. So if we cut way back in here, again, everything can kind of get wavy, but if we cut it right up here, this don't change. It also makes blending the paint and making the bed scar disappear very easy, because you're dealing with a very small amount instead of a larger area out in the open. Well, I'm about a tape laying expert at this point in my life. I guarantee it. Damn, expert. Even guessed the length we needed. Now up here, that corner curves in. So you can see I kind of just free-handed and drew that where I know. So our one line from where we marked on the back side, we used our speed square to mark that edge. That will line up with that because we're cutting around our stake pocket and we're gonna slide it down. So we'll do that right there. And then I came over 3 3/8. I think that's what that is. So then we'll mark 3 3/8 all down through here. We're gonna connect those because that's gonna be the line that we slice along. So we're gonna cut. Up here, we run perfectly straight. We're gonna cut. Right here, we're gonna cut. That'll get us back into that. So then we'll have this whole section. So now, in theory, we should be able to put that there. Let's give us a mark. And in theory, if we're staying pretty close, the other mark we did before we flipped it over with the speed square should be pretty close right there. Right there, I set our marks right there. Yeah, oh yeah, we hit it. We're doing good. So we mark that, give it the blue tape special, and we are good to go up here. Took our blue tape off, so I don't want to keep going there. Now I know to come right there and just stop at that corner, head south. You like that? Oh yeah, that was a no look. They didn't even get off my line, because dang it, I'm good. Yeah! So you know you're marking good and cutting straight whenever you cut the other side, and then when you flip it over, look where I cut through and how it hit the edge of that tape, huh? At this point, you either need a body saw, jigsaw, sawzall. That last little bit right up in there gets really hard to cut with a cutoff wheel. However, not so hard to cut with a sawzall. You lay it in there the right way. Hey-yo, there goes our 14 inches from the back side. Hey-yo, there's the front that we need. And that's gonna help hold her shape, even though she don't look like much. Hey-yo, when you flip her back over to cut the other side, and I guess I just realized I forgot to lay that out, but that's okay. Because as y'all could probably guess, all we're doing is sitting that there and marking our mark a whole lot of times. Woo, 14 inches gone. Now we know we curved the other piece at the front, so I cut a little off there. Guaranteed we're gonna have to tune that in some. Now we've got her like everything else we've been doing, ready to clean up the little bit of paint off all the edges and fit it all up for some welding. So last thing before we go to fit that up, get it pretty close, and up there I overlap that and I trace that edge where I know where to grind that. So let's take some of our material off. So we're gonna start with tacking her in place, and we're gonna concentrate on that peak right there of that body line. We're gonna get that lined up really good, get a tack right there, because this does move some. So we just wanna make sure that's perfect. There it is. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! One tack right there to help hold. I'd say that's ready for our welding. A lot of that's good, but it's not perfect, so we will have to fix our highs and lows down through there. And then you can see how this is all floppy. Now we'll go down through, again, working our way from up here down. You don't want to match down here and then go try to match in between that. So we'll just have to work her into place now, guys. I can tell you we're off to a solid start. This is such a tight fit, I can't get a screwdriver in there, but we do have a little bit of a lip. So you can see I actually took the grinder and I gouged her middle right there where I got a place to pry, because we can obviously weld that up easy still, and it's more important we get our middle matching. This goes a lot faster than the other ones. It's definitely a lot easier to fix it up to this edge. And then maybe you can see I've got something round down in here where I can slide that and adjust this. Eventually, like right there where we're starting to catch. So if we slide that up just a hair, there we go. See how that just holds that for me? We're on the move, baby. I think y'all can see this is working pretty dang good. Now as we get that sucker laid out and we get down here, you can see it just starts to follow itself, where, I mean, all of that's just matching good. All the way down to right there. Now the front bottom's the only place that gets a little tricky. As you can see, that don't really match that, but weld it down there close and then give yourself a relief cut, and we're just gonna manipulate this up to match. Looking good. Once we tack that there, then we'll bend this back down, see? And kind of need to get her a little straighter than that. There we go. That looks good. Now that edge still hangs over, but we'll just cut that off with the grinder and then we'll just cap that bottom with weld, and we'll just shape it. Over here where our relief cut is, or was, I'll fill that full of weld too, and we'll kind of grind on it. And when we get done, it should look very nice. Now the DA will clean that up even more, but just to give you an idea, there you go. Everything's squared off. Nice little taper down there. Come around the front, boom, looks good. It's just metal, guys. Don't be scared. Mama didn't raise no pump. Just hop in there. Sheet metal can easily be manipulated to work in a little weird situation like that. Go ahead and finish out around our stake pocket, getting it matched up. And we could go ahead and weld that all out and smooth it, but don't forget our back panel's kind of flopping around. So I'm gonna flip it and get it all lined up too before we lock anything in 100%. If you're curious how our fit up was on the back, I'd say we did pretty dang good. Take your time on those edges. You gotta make them match a little bit. And then down in here, I got all that matching. The bead was pretty close. A hammer like that's good for kind of tapping in on it for one side's a little higher than the other. So tap, 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 let's see. Like this one right here. We'll get that all slicked out. Now the weld up here on the bottom side, I'm fine with leaving, but going up to that edge, I can't really get that in there because we start to hit. So I'm gonna take our carbide and knock the weld down. And I got one of these little sanding flapper thingies. And it ain't perfect, but at least it's an attempt. Been a long time coming, folks. Last weld right here. Whew. Hallelujah. Thank the Lord. The welding's D-U-N. She's done. Now it's grind time. Grind time, baby. Now we're done. Everybody celebrate. Hey! Yeah. Dippity-doo-dah. Dippity-doo. My oh my wonderful dream. Shoo, doggy. We're wrapped up for the day. When I went out to Grandma's last night, Dad was there. Now, I've been sending him pictures as I do everything, but the pictures of it on the wheels and tires, I didn't send them. I just waited to show him in person. And Dad kind of lit up, and I could tell he was really liking it. He was like, man, those wheels and tires, the color, just holy crap, does that thing look good. And I got to see Dad excited about it, so of course that makes me excited about it. Come on back, Pop. Ah, barely. There it was. Oh yeah, limber it before we go in. All right, good morning, folks. Got our Century polish out, and just doing a little hand scrubbing. Maybe y'all can see some of the gloss coming in on there. And this may be house paint the way it's cracked and everything, but it seemed to shine up some too. So we'll leave this part shiny and this one shiny, and then I'm gonna leave this flat and this flat. We're gonna take this to our paint supply place and have them do some color matching. Now I'm blessed with having a spot pretty close to me that's pretty dang good. Obviously on a cut down truck, if you're not doing a full paint job, a blend is pretty important. So we'll give it to them and tell them take their time, and you know, unless it's just about perfect, don't holler at us till you're super happy with it. If y'all super happy, then I'll be super happy. Come on, Theodore. Up first, me and Theo's gonna hand deliver your merchandise orders. We appreciate all support there. All right, nothing too exciting to see there because we're just dropping off the panel, but we'll go pick it up in a little bit, and then I'll show y'all what they cooked up for us. All right, first, we're trying to get our header panel. Get us one started. Tighten her down a little bit because I don't want it to drop it, but we also don't want to tighten it up too much. I said we will get our second one started. Oh yeah. Kind of hold it like that. I grabbed a couple boards. I thought we may be able to do a little propping, but neither one of those are the right length for what we need. Well, that right there seems like it'd be okay. That corner right there looks mangled up, and it needs to be able to roll underneath that. Theo must be zoomed up. I just heard him come flying past the shop. Yeah. Tightened up our outside two ones. We may have to loosen them and get the other one started, but for now that'll help hold a little bit of shape as we try to set these bed sides into place. Here we go. Sheet metal on the bottom is kind of whoop outside, whooped in, and it booped on. So that booped on. If we come up here, we need to get this slid over. As you can see, got a little clearance issue, but that's that lip I had to bend down on. And I think that would slip on there. It's just barely got it. Y'all didn't think I kept a leaf blower because I was a landscaper, did you? Back needs to pop in, the bottom needs to pop in. I want to get any bolt started we can. So if we pop something the wrong way and this tries to fall, that'll catch it. Just got to pry it a little bit and smack it. That probably got bent when I was taking this apart by myself. Sheet metal lip on the bottom was kind of bit out, smack it in. I remember having to smack that in on Randy's bed too. So I'm hitting it in here on that lip because that shouldn't matter too much. Yeah, it kind of boogers are a little bit, but not bad. And that lets you hit it hard. Just use a mallet. And that got us slid over like we need. Once you get one started, baby, it's game over. She is in. Easy does it. I know our alignment's pretty good because I've gone down through here and I can see right through all these holes. Everything's just starting like it's supposed to. Now the front really ain't gonna change. Everything lined up beautiful, so I went ahead and smoked all those down. As far as the ones down the side and everything, let's get our wheel wells in. Because the way these can slip in, we're gonna go from the bottom up. Gonna get her slipped into place. Get us a couple started. Easy. She's going together easy, folks. I have to shove on it or nothing. It just wanted to be there. To help line our ones up down through there, I actually want to get picked up on the floor here. We'll do that and go up in the air. Gotta get a little blockage going on though where we don't hit down here. We have liftoff. Last bolt right there. Guys, it's too easy. All that hardware went right in. Lined up just beautiful. Well, we went and Bill drove us in the Hyundai hot rod. Honda or Hyundai? Honda hot rod. Get in trouble here. Got our panel back. You can see where they started and we're not matching good. And then some different test. And then by the time we ended, it's right there. So I don't know if you can see it or not. The white, they seem pretty confident it's gonna match. And then the flat green that we didn't buff out, was their least favorite one. That's for inside the bed, so I'm not too worried about that. So we're gonna feather that out. That takes a lot of our big scratches out, which is nice. It's gonna make that where you can't hardly feel that, which means the paint's gonna blend better. So I'm gonna go down here with 80 grit. Going from 80 grit to 220. Give her the field test, Bill. How's she doing?
Ooh, that's nice. Man, you can't.
That's old baby butt smooth right there. Next, we're gonna do a little cleaning. As you can see up here, the stuff's cleaning up pretty nice. We've never cleaned the truck since we bought it. Even this white, I mean, I know it's flaking off and in bad shape. Look how dirty that stuff is. Can y'all see where that's cleaning? So we'll feather out our paint some, so we want to get this area clean. You can tell I did a little feather job right there, and that feels a lot better, where before it was like an 1/8 inch thick, so it was a hard drop off. I just feathered it as easy as I can. That trim will go there. So we're talking about a very small spot that we're gonna see a flaw in. As y'all know, I hate paint and body. That's why I don't get no more work than what I'm doing. That's why I use a lot of rattle cans. No part of me wants to be a paint and body man. I just do what I can with what I can. Freeze, mother liquor. I love Transtar Primer. I have never used their Blanco. Since we've got white in the middle, I figured it'd be a good one to try it on. Here we go. Oh, someone must have ground over there and didn't realize it. That white actually matches pretty good. See, we can feather that. I'm telling you, that white's runnable. Boy, our metal works fine, but where that paint is, that didn't blend as good as I was hoping. Don't get discouraged though, let's just keep trying. That was about the worst matched up panel we had though, so I don't know why I'm showing it on that one. Yeah, it's a lot better on this side. There's a little lacquer thinner to clean up our overspray that kind of went out far. And we may need to do a quick scuff on that. Let's see. Well, that's kind of scratching it up, and that's not good unless we're trying to blend down here. And then scratching it up may be exactly what we need. See how we got those chunks missing? And as that kind of bunches up, scratches at it. Oh yeah, that's gonna help that blend. This stuff is not set up enough yet, so I better let it tack up a little more. Go! I think it's ready. All right, this has me nervous. See, we can kind of feather it out over that. That's why I wanted to clean that stuff up good. And then we'll bring it around the back some. Now knowing we can chip up this primer and pull out a chunk, kind of like what we got going in there. Yep, we waited too long. That's all right. Let's just scuff that real quick to help knock down any of the roughness. And this paint's kind of hard to get good coverage with, so it does take some layers. So right now I'm just gonna concentrate on that middle area, getting a good coat down. Feather out, feather out, feather out. Sure to y'all it's looking dang good because the camera can't see probably as good as what the human eye does. I can tell you it's getting there. It's not a perfect match, but it has to dry up, and that's either going to help us or it's going to hurt us. Time will tell. And inside here where that got covered, I did a light dusting over all the main kind of green areas all the way back, just real quick. And now as far as looking over there, you're not going to convince me that you just see that and think, hey, cut down truck. Now we're not talking about the bottom scar yet because I don't know what we're going to do there. Honestly, we're probably not going to do a lot of nothing, just like we're not going to do a lot right here. But for one can of paint to be able to blend out the majority of that, I'm not mad at it. As far as blending the paint goes, that's about as far as we're gonna make it today. It still needs some work. Down here I had a little bit of a reaction. That's gonna have to be sanded out. That could use feathered a little better than what I realized. Like I said, a little bit of body work, and then the majority, or the other thing, will be buffing it out. Buffing it will really get it to blend. Gives you a pretty good idea of, you know, what you can do though with very little as far as making this look good. Up next, we're just going to do a quick trim down on the trim. Now as far as this, like I said, I may try to find some better trim. We may run this basically to the point of trying to get this mocked up because I'm running out of daytime here, and I'd really like to see trim at least on one side with it sat on the truck so y'all can really get an idea of what we're working with. Now this trim kind of wraps the back, so then we're just going to come up here and duplicate this bend. Your little studs and stuff, you may have to move them around some. Now that right there is really close. So I marked where we need to cut it. I've never cut this stuff with snips, but we're gonna try it. Hopefully I don't regret it. We do this to all three pieces, guys. Front piece on the bottom we're gonna have to replace. Someone may got it caught in the sander, and yeah. This one will have one screw at the back and to just hold the front for now. I got us some more of our 3M two-sided sticky tape. Got the super roll this time. I'm just gonna put like a piece or two of the tape, just a small piece to hold it up since we're doing a mock-up. This piece there in the middle, and then we'll go for one at the front. If we were going for the final time, we would clean up these little pads with some brake clean or lacquer thinner or something, but just for the mock-up, we'll be okay. Like I said, we got plenty more to do on this thing, but just quick, you can see, I can't comprehend why people cut down the beds and they don't attempt to blend the paint or cut down the trim. I'll see a cut down truck, it'll be missing everything. We've put the trim on this side in about 15 minutes. If we were putting it on all the way, it would probably take 30 minutes. And then one can of green, one can of white. Look how well this is blending, guys. I mean, it's a no-brainer to just try. I'll save these clips. We had to take them out. They helped hold in a part. But like at the front of that one, we may put that clip in there when we do this for the final time. Just drill a hole at the very front and then do sticky tape down through the middle. But you ain't gonna convince me that don't look pretty good. Now this was the side that got a little wild and I had to beat on. So I had a gap to jump, but I tacked her at the front, weld there, two down the back. This side fits better. We should be able to do it easy weld, easy weld, easy welds. And I did dust a little bit of our white paint out, so the white looks like it's blending good. Well, it's because it is. Now our tailgate, I've got it kind of shoved into place. Y'all see that gap between there? Yeah, this tailgate's kind of womped on. I need to knock the top of that bed that away just a hair, or bend on the alignment. Little guide thing, same over here. And we may need to pick up on that hinge and drop down on this one. We'll get that happy another day. For right now, I'd like to get just a set of lenses mocked up on there. Now mine were broken and faded and I chunked them. If y'all did not know, we've got a twin to this truck right here. And this one I actually picked up local as well, but it's for Mortski. That old Mortski, he's a nice guy. I'm sure he won't mind me stealing these for Dad. If I was smart, I would have swapped these before the video started and no one would have ever known. These ones are trimmed out and they're actually in pretty good shape. That passenger side is anyhow. Yeah. It's a lot easier to manage on these 37s. Man, that's one bad looking SOB. That thing will look good long bed, short bed, or a damn flat bed. No wrong combination on this one. I don't know how we're gonna set that down on and clear the tires and everything. We would need that kind of up there to, yeah. Let's block between there and move the arms out of there. All right, there we go. Not quite right, but we can shimmy it around now. Yeah! One of these was lined up a second ago. Got our rear ones in. Had to shake her a little bit. Those two dropped right in. We might have to waller on those. I like the bed to go that way, just about an 1/8 inch or so. Yeah, 1/8 inch would be about perfect if we could waller both an 1/8 and whoop this way. Or actually, I was gonna say maybe the butt needs to go that way and that'll shove the front this way, which it did. But I'd still like it to go that way, just a hair. She's not terrible. We've just come this far on the thing, so we might as well fine tune it just another day. Right now, I just want to get it set into place where we can kind of see what she looks like. Like I said, all this got to come back apart so we can clean up the chassis and paint and all that stuff. I ain't really looked at it. I've walked around close, but walking close don't give you the big picture of what we got going on behind us. Now, I said from the start, I would have preferred to leave this a long bed. Dad wanted a short bed. I like being short. It may look a little too stubby for the height and the tire size. Let's see if I eat crow. God dang, baby. Yeah, I'm not saying it wouldn't look good as a long bed. That looks tough as nails as a short bed. That blends a respectable job. You add it to the condition of the rest of the truck and everything just kind of, it works. I mean, I can see where I cut it down because the feather ain't good enough, but I mean, for a back road bandit, who gives a damn? Holy cow. Yeah, I gotta eat the crow on that. That looks way better as a short bed than I thought it was going to. Golly, I knew the color combo was gonna be perfect. I knew just Steelies with the Humvee tires was gonna be perfect. I thought the short bed may be too short. And that thing, man, that looks bitchin'. Woo! I think we gotta look at it outside. Don't want that thing rolling away from us. Suck a muffin, guys. That thing looks tougher than a $2 steak. Holy cow, that thing looks like it wants to just do some back roading and donuts and intersections and have a bunch of empties thrown into the back of it. Y'all know I'm not usually a big truck builder. I build them slammed, but I'll be damned if this one ain't gonna pull off the look. Giving this side a quick wipe down, just using our So Fresh and Clean cleaner by the sweet potainer, and I'll get it rotated where this side's in the sun That'll get us a good thumbnail picture. We'll also get to finally see this with the full side kind of cleaned up. Boy, I huffed and I puffed and I didn't blow a house down, but I got that truck where I wanted it. With that sucker cleaned up, guys, check that baby out. Try to get me. Now just imagine if we had buffed on it a little more. I don't want it super duper shiny, but that's just a quick wipe down. Really, I like how it looks like that, guys. Holy crap, looks even better than in the shop for sure. Getting to see even light on it, and it just kind of cleaned up. When I bought this truck, I had every intention of one day cutting it down as a short bed. I just thought it'd be a hot rod truck for me. I was thinking kind of slam down, maybe on like some torque thrust or even steelies as a little hot rod pickup truck. But with how things have gone, it is now a cut down truck. It's just going to be Dad's new old Roy. Lifted on 37s, got a 6-inch lift, 6 liter. It's not what I thought it was going to become, but I'm not mad at what it did become. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. As y'all can see, the main thing you really need is just the willingness to work. I promise you, none of that work is that hard. But you gotta be patient when it's time to start matching up the metal, and you just gotta be willing to do it. I think this right here is the best way to cut them down. I think the results kind of speak for themselves. If you start look around on YouTube at other cut downs, and you'll see what I mean. And I'm not bashing, I'm just saying if you've got the time to pull the bed and disassemble it, I think you can work your bed sides a lot nicer than the other ways of doing it, and in the end you get a much better product. And yeah, a solid 3 days can get you a really nice bed. If you have the bed off, as far as doing the chassis side of things, 1 day there, guys. It ain't that much work to step cut the frame and deal with all that. So 2 days max you start factoring in. Depends if you got a drive shaft and messing with your exhaust and brakes and stuff. So, but still, I promise you, if you're capable and you got tools, if you took a week off work, you could get super far on your cut down if you were to do one, and you're just to stay hooked up and focused. Don't let stuff distract you. And me recording adds time, guys. Some of those bedsides, I timed it, doing the rear of the one, doing the first one and showing y'all took like 5.5 hours. Doing the second one took like 2.5. It's not because I knew what I was doing the second time, it's because I could just work without working the camera. And I did know what I was doing, so that probably helped by 30-40 minutes, but I promise you the rest of that time was because I'm working the camera. So I think a week would get you a long way if you've been thinking about doing one. I hope this helps somebody. Get you some color match, get rid of them bed scars, and have you one hell of a looker, guys. One hell of a looker. Thank y'all so much for being here. puddins.fab.shop for that good quality merchandise. That keeps stuff like this happening, where I can build a truck and give it to my dad. And I just can't thank y'all enough for the support there. Great way to support me and my girls, my family. Other than that, we're on the Instagrammer, we're on the Facebooker. You can check us out on the Patreon if you want the same content, just completely ad-free. It's just another option to be able to support me and my family more direct. And much other than that, guys, we're knocking on 7 o'clock now. I've got sweat in my eyes. It makes me feel alive, but boy, it don't feel good, so I'm gonna get in and take a shower because I've been smelling for hours. Yeah, so thank y'all so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one, and do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project.
And remember, sitting on your ass won't finish your project.